Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And the Boks have officially wrapped up alignment camp number 1, the first step of preparations in the new World Cup cycle and the first opportunity for the new Springbok coaches to introduce themselves to the current squad and to the wider group of players, and the first opportunity for a lot of players to get to know the Springbok way of life, the setup, the structures, the expectations, for example, as well as the plan moving forward. We have got a bit of a press release to work through, some quotes from Erasmus, who is now the Springbok head coach and sort of stepping back away from the director of rugby role, and we're going to go through that in a little bit, as well as an update on when the next alignment camps will be held in a little bit. But before we do that, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Of course, it is a bit of a bye week for the URC team and stuff like that. So all the South African-based players, as well as Japanese-based players who are currently in South Africa recovering from injury, all being called up to the alignment camp down in Cape Town. Apparently, the first 2 days were basically strategic sessions with coaches before the coaches and strength and conditioning staff presented their plans and expectations on Wednesday and Thursday. So sort of strategy sessions Monday, Tuesday, and planning sessions Wednesday and Thursday, especially obviously with in terms of rotation, for example. Want to get an update on what the plan is, for example, with the squad going to England to face Wales versus the squad versus Ireland. Are we going to look at a split squad approach for the Rugby Championship, for example? All that kind of thing would have been communicated to these players during these sessions. We got some quotes from Erasmus, who said the following. He said, the keys of the alignment camps are to ensure that the players are on the same page in terms of the standards required to perform at top international level and to expose them to our way of doing things. And we are pleased that we achieved what we achieved in the last few days. He said the camp was invaluable both in terms of developing our structures for the next few seasons and in getting the coaches and players to get to know one another better off the field, especially with the introduction of Jerry Flannery, Tony Brown, and Jaco Paper to our coaching staff. He said that the coaches and Jaco, as our national laws advisor, presented a broad outline of their plans to the players as a group on Wednesday and held a series of split forwards and back sessions on Thursdays, while we also presented the Springbok macro plan for the year. That will be, the various squad approaches, for example, what the plans are, what the goals are, for example, what the objectives are. Saying so we are happy with the foundation laid with a little over 4 months before we kick off the international season. He says, I must give credit to the players for their enthusiasm and excitement to learn how we operate in the Springbok setup and for buying into our structures. He says that we believe that the last 2 days will be invaluable in laying a good foundation for our next 2 alignment camps and the season ahead. So the next question is, when are the next 2 alignment camps? Well, they are both in May. The first one will be from the 1st to the 3rd of May, so right at the beginning, with the second one taking place from the 22nd to 24th of May. The venues are set to be announced. One will be in Durban, and the other one will probably be in Johannesburg or Pretoria, would be my guess. Big moment in the year to have our first sort of Springbok session, first sort of Springbok camp, and very cool for a lot of new faces, a lot of exciting faces, the likes of youngsters like Ruan Venter, Sleman Hartzenberg, players who are touted to be future Springboks in the coming years, Henk van Beek, for example. Also interesting to see players like Zena Humber, for example, who might get an indication of how much on the radar he is. These players, based on previous things, might have also been given, for example, roadmaps of what they need to do if they want to play for the Springboks, what the expectations are. We have seen that employee being used in the past, sort of give players an idea of where they are, how far away are they from being picked, for example, what they need to work on, what is their role going to be moving forward. So the nice thing about the Springbok coaching staff is they're very transparent. They're very good at communication with regards to where these players stand, what the expectations are, and what they need to do themselves to keep themselves in the mix. So very exciting. Good to see, first of all, obviously, that Erasmus is also back on his feet and back to full health. Also fantastic to have the 3 new coaches being involved. I'm sure Jerry Flannery and Tony Brown are settling quite nicely. And very interesting must have been to have a Jaco Paper there, who would have refed so many of these players, probably all these players really, and in a very different capacity to then be saying, right, guys, I'm now on your side, and this is how we're going to play by the laws and how we're going to exploit certain laws potentially in the coming months and years as we look to go back to back, a three-peat of World Cups. But before that, I'd like to see us, compete for the Rugby Championship this year, for example. We've got to try and beat Ireland. A very big year ahead for Springbok Rugby. Let me know what you think. It's going to be some of the players that you might be expecting to see in that Springbok squad down in the comments below. Please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve, and I'll chat to you soon.